Uh, Democracy takes time. Direct democracy take even more time. The-
Thank you. I'm Oldřich. I'm living in Prague, working in Czech Radio Board. I'm following your protest from the very beginning. Cross my fingers. And I would like to also ask for your demands, because you formulated these 6 demands, and they seem very concrete, and they are usually connected with investigation in this tragedy in Novi Sad, or murder in Novi Sad. Or investigation of what happened in protests. But they are concrete. But your motivation is much more, it's deeper, it goes further. It's about systematical change. It's about independence of media, change of legislative, functional state, functional institutions. So I would like to ask why is not included now in your demands? Is it because now you are in the phase you need to include more people in the regions, relatives, and everybody, and it will come later? What is your thoughts about this?
Well, I think that the corruption in our country is so deeply rooted, you know, in the institutions. And when we started fighting, the first thing that we wanted to like change was for institutions to work. And even though the demands are very concrete, they demand the institutions working. So, an example, if one of our demands gets fulfilled, like getting the people who beat us up in prison, I think that will be a step to like getting those roots out, you know, and like then generally getting the institutions to work. So even if it's like concrete, it globally can change the working of institutions, which is what we are trying to do mostly, like mainly.
Yeah, it's like a domino effect. Once one thing is out, then more things come out, and we witness that more on a local level, rather than something that means for us locally that would not mean a lot to you. And once our demands are fulfilled, a lot of things are going to come out, and the demands are put in such a way that we don't want institutions just to work, we want them to work properly. We're making them, the demands are making them do their job the way it's supposed to get done. And then it's, all the dirt is gonna come out eventually, and it's all gonna, make sense. But then if we sat down and said, okay, let's see what all of our demands could be, what does not work in our country, we would have like 1,000 demands, because nothing works. Corruption is that deeply rooted.
Yeah, I'd say, like my colleagues mentioned, so we have system, the system is just not working, and I think that's, the core of the problem that we're facing, not just corruption into all of the institutions and into everybody's lives, but also on like a social level, it really affects people, mentally, and it really discourages them to, stand up and fight and say no to all of those things that the regime is doing. And going back historically, I think Vučić had a really already nice kind of layout field to impose his propaganda, the cult of personality. It has been used before on Serbian and Balkan people, so we really respond well to that. And he used that very well to get to where he is. You can kind of also kind of draw parallels to previous, leaders that and presidents that our country has had through also its different names and shapes. And I think that affected on him becoming what he is today and what he has been doing to the system, because he has been doing it very gradually, even before he even before the Progressive Party has won the elections and got the majority into the parliament. So his propaganda and manipulations has been really going on from way before, and he has done that so very well, unfortunately, that it's really been hard to kind of wake up the public and to kind of show them, hey, system is not working, and because of the corruption that it's affecting this in your life and this and this and that and everybody else, and it all aspects of your everyday life. And we're just asking for such fundamental things, nothing that it's luxurious or I don't know, high class. We literally are just asking for some essential things to live a normal everyday life and to feel safe and to kind of hopefully one day have trust into the institutions, into the police, into the the government, the parliament, everything. I think that's a very big problem that we have, because if a crime happens and I call the police, I don't have faith that they're gonna do their job, that something is gonna happen. And that's such a big problem on like a social and mental level to the citizens, that I think we kind of hit the bullseye with those demands to kind of start the domino effect, like Nadia mentioned, to kind of start cleaning everything from the bottom to the top, or top to the bottom.
I'll let you add something if you want. I will pick up if there is kind of one more question from the audience, and then we can finish this part of the session, and colleagues will be here, and you can really just kind of come to them and have in a smaller circles follow-up discussions, particularly those of you who are from the media. You can then individually talk with them. Also, I will have one question for you, but I want to give you a little bit time to think about. And question is, how the experiences of the last 5-6 months have transformed you. A year ago, you have probably been the different person. So my question is how you have changed. But think a little bit about that. Let me see if there are any other questions from the audience.
I will be briefly. Hello, my name is Milan Soy. I'm a historian from Serbia, but in long time lasting exile, voluntary exile here in Prague. Thank you for this beautiful event, and for all organizers and moderator, to you, firstly, that you came to Prague to share your experience with us. I have some question, but it will be more expression than a question. If I may, of course, I think that you are future of that country. Not only you, but all generations that will come after you. And I'm not too much fun in some dramatic expression, but these days, these weeks, these months will be to be or not to be for all people in Serbia. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There is one more question or comment from the other side to give equal rights to both sides of the room.
Left and right.
Yes. Hi, I'm Magda. I'm from the host team. And my question is, what is your connection in organized way with some organizations or initiatives outside of the student protests? Do you have it in some organized way? We were talking about relatives and social connections, but I was thinking, is there a link?
We have connections with assemblies. We already mentioned them. We call them Zbor in Serbian. And we have work groups that are specifically for communicating with assemblies. And every neighborhood has their own assembly. And
also syndicates.
Yeah,
I think that was a very big step for us when we formed the group, work group for syndicates that, people started talking to actual, people in their fields and what their issues are and how we can help each other. But then there was a lot of initiative from citizens themselves where our professors made their own syndicate to help support us. And then it was not, for us, it was not that hard because people were technically calling us more than we were calling them, because it was, something everybody had been waiting on for a very long time for some changes to happen.
Yeah, and through talking to representatives of the unions, we really, kind of got an insight into, how is this regime affecting the farmers or the lawyers or professors or mailmen's, and we really, I think when we started talking to the unions, understood how far has all of this gotten and how everybody, they don't have one good thing to say about, oh, well, this is good in my field. So that the unions and the assemblies really contributed to kind of teaching us on everything that they have been going through, but also us giving them support and them giving us support. So that was really important and really great to experience and learn.
Yes, especially because citizens who support us get threatened a lot. A lot of them have lost their jobs. A lot of them, as you heard, especially university professors, did not get paid at all or got paid so little money that it means nothing. And then citizens help each other out. We as students help them. They help us. And one thing I wanted to add about that.
It will come
Sorry,
back.
I don't know. I forgot.
It
but
will come back. Lyndon. Coming back to my question, and any of you can respond, how you are a different person now than 12 months ago?
Well, for me, I wasn't very much politically included a year before. So I think that that's what changed mostly for me. But as a person, I think I'm very much more self-reflected right now, because I think that what I learned is that my doings affect other people, and because we're in a unity, we're standing together now more than before. You have to care what you say, what you do, because it affects people around you, and being reflected by that way is what changed me the most. But studying what I study, it really helped me, doing films and videos and working on them, creative expression really changed for me. I learned what I want to do later in this protests, so I think that's mostly what changed for me.
It's very similar when it comes to my situation, because I look at it, there's a personal and then there's a professional level. When it comes to personal level, I think I'm a lot more courageous, self-aware. I'm finally understanding boundaries, my personal needs versus some collective needs that right now are coming back that usually matter. Right now in Serbia, collective, good and collective consciousness is above everything else and above you as a person. So that's something I'm very happy about. And then on a professional level, since I study journalism, and now in Novi Sad we have our own student television, Blockades Info, that Anya and I are a part of. So I have gained so much experience, and I have found myself so much in what I do, and I'm so happy when I do it. And I think that I gained experience in this period of time that I could not have gained in any other way possible.
Yeah, I think we all transformed a lot from what we were 6 months ago or even a year ago. I don't hang out with the most of my friends that I used to hang out because they don't or they support from their homes, or they say they support and then they go to vacations every week to travel and to use this time like holiday. And I have even some friends who don't support, so we've been living with people who we've met like 6 months ago, and now we're spending 20 hours a day with them, and I think it's beautiful. We met a lot of new, quality new people, people who, when you meet them at the faculty, you already know one of the most important things, that they are fighting for the good thing, that they're fighting for justice, for truth, and I think it's a great way to find friends, and above everything we are fighting for something bigger, and although we do fear sometimes, and maybe not all of us are brave to go and stand in front of cars that might run us over, or in front of the police, I think we've all grown so much. We've done some things that we never did. We've never written law things, for example, and now we do that almost every day for media, and I think we all grew so much as people.
Thank you very much. Let's give once more the very, very strong applause. And if you allowed me just to make a few final comments, you have won the struggle for the public opinion in Serbia. So you got the people as a public opinion on your side, but a very hard political struggle is still ahead of you. So this is something what you still have not won, and you will need. And when it comes to the institutions, what you mentioned, that will be the third battle. That these things really kind of go one after another. You can't do them all at a time. This expectation that through the just winning public opinion you will make institutions become better, it unfortunately doesn't happen. You will need to go through this kind of hard political battle. As you mentioned, and people who follow it more closely know that we still don't know exactly how it will happen, and I just wish you to do it right, and not just you, but all other kind of organizations and groups in Serbia. For you colleagues, we who live here in the Czech Republic, we know what are the kind of internal domestic things in the Czech Republic, which will occupy the attention of this country. Elections are coming, very important. We know how much we are following things happening in the Ukraine. So for those of you, particularly those who are from the diaspora, make additional effort to get involved, at least some of the Czechs, to basically follow what's going on and to do something. It's not just enough to follow, to do something, so that you can create a small hub of the people who can then continuously provide the support and be the bridge between their struggle and audience here. And wishing you a lot of luck. Thank you very much for coming, and we will stay in touch. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for
Thank you for inviting us.
You can maybe in a couple of sentences give a comment why this national TV of Serbia, called RTS, is so important. Where is the significance of that TV, please? Thank you.
Well, basically, we're paying for them. They're using national money to spread lies. It's as simple as that. Honestly, I don't know what else to add. Every day, every time we purchase cigarettes or pay the electrical bill, we're giving them tons of money to spread misinformation about us, to not give us enough time to just not do their jobs properly. And accordingly, they're breaking the law every single day. They've been breaking the law for the past 6 months. And that's why we were in front of their gates. about a month ago for two weeks, 20 days. It was.
Yeah, but also it's a public media broadcaster that is the only one on a country level, and it is the only channel that everyone can watch, and that it is the most watched channel on TV in Serbia. So that's why it's so important, because there's a sort of a codex for it, for like journalism. Yes, so it is what you're doing. First of all, is well, help me out, please.
Well, they're breaking the codex of journalists of Serbia. They're not reporting, objectively with the right informations at the right time, which is, the basics of journalism. And the significance of RTS, they're the public media broadcaster. They're supposed to be their first,
There's front channel.
first channel, and they're funded by the people. In our taxes, we also pay them a certain amount of money, to report to us about everything that is happening, and they are not following the codex, any of the kind of professional and ethical boundaries that you have and obligations, and the importance of that our public media broadcaster is not doing the right job, and they have the biggest
Influence.
influence, and the biggest
Audience.
And there's this kind of a culture in Serbia, in 7:30 in the evening, everybody, whole family sits down and they're watching,
The news.
the news, and that has been going on since maybe half a century back, even more. So also because of that culture that we have, and that habit that has been, even, from our grandparents to parents to us, has been kind of move on to the generations. That's why it's so important for them to do their job and inform us about everything that is happening, and they're not doing that. And as we previously mentioned, many other people don't have some other more free media on their
On their TVs?
Yeah, on their TVs from their providers. Yeah, because we have different providers and everything. And RTS, you have them on all the providers and on the cable news. And they're the ones who get to the most people, even in maybe some further villages or whatever. And those people are not getting the chance to see the full picture. So they really quite they're really reshaping the reality, and people are not aware of what's actually happening.
And it's not only that they're breaking ethical codex, it's that they're breaking the law. They're not getting punished for it. Therefore, the law is not the same for me as it is for them, and it's not the same for all of us as it is for people who work for the government, for example. And I would also like to add that what's different in radio television of Serbia, and what's different, what makes them so special, is that those journalists that work there are actually very, very educated, and they know what they're doing, and their manipulation is so professional and done so well. And sometimes it's in the details, and it's very hard in a country where media literacy is not very widespread. It's something that not a lot of people will notice.
And the change of the radio television, it's how it can happen. Let's say through changing the director and starting with that, or how you think. Let's say what needs to happen.
Well, definitely the people who are working there now, when it comes to the news and when it comes to informative, part of the program, they're the people who cannot sit in those places anymore. We cannot trust them if they promise that they're gonna all of a sudden do their job and never, come back to this. After you call the students of Serbia who are fighting for justice Nazis, I don't think there's going back from that.
We have a couple of more questions from the audience, but before that, I would like to actually point out that the additional people that appeared on the stage are also students from Serbia. They are one of them. So definitely they can also answer your questions. They have been participating in certain events while visiting Prague and Brno, or Czech Republic in general. So you can point the questions towards them, and
I can move to the light.
yes, so we can actually give the.
Thank you very much. To quickly introduce myself, I'm Filip, I'm a student, I'm Czech. I've been to Belgrade for the RTS blockade to interview some of the people. And I have a question, because the RTS blockade has been on for maybe 14 days, or it's been more than 40 days. And it has ended already. Why has it ended? Or you've achieved some of your goals? Which one were they? And why was the blockade taking part? Thank you.
Okay, so I've been on the RTS blockade for 12 days. I got there the third day, and our main demand was met. The main demand was to write a new council of regulatory body of electronic media in Serbia. Short, it's REM. And when that was met, we stopped the blockade of the RTS, and we achieved our goal. Maybe we could have put some other demands, but yeah.
Yeah, just for context, I would like to add that this regulatory body has not been doing its job for years now. And sometime in November, the mandates of the people who are sitting in that council were over, and then no new people or no new mandates ever came. And that's kind of why that was demanded, because we cannot trust people to say, we're not going to do this. We need a regulatory body to actually punish them when they don't do their job.
So, if I might add, that little thing called VRM, they have been doing their job, their purpose for the past 12 years. The general director, Olivera Zekic, she literally has a profile picture on Telegram in Nazi clothing. She's put there by the regime. She's very close to Ivica Dačić, who so was our Ministry of Police. Their whole purpose is to regulate the bare minimum of our televisions. We basically have 5 televisions that have national broadcast, for 4 televisions that have national frequencies, 1 television that has the citywide frequency, so that's 5 televisions that people watch for free. And the president is on them 24/7. Basically, there were accounts of serial rapists, interviews that lasted for 2, 3, 4 hours on their 40 televisions or something, displaying headless corpses and people with their guts out, and the president commenting on them. So they really haven't been doing a good job for the past year, mostly, but yeah.
Yeah, like the colleague mentioned, they also, if they see breaking of the codex and all the other, laws and regulations, they're supposed to, for example, take away maybe the national frequency of some of those televisions. And they have been, like he said, many horrible and not adequate content to be, broadcasted on national televisions, or even in some smaller, frequencies. They're supposed to, for example, take that away from them, but they're not doing that, and that's how our president is even more not just spreading his propaganda, but also really polluting people's perspectives and values, and creating a surrounding which is not healthy, and it's very toxic, and it's very just promotes some bad values, let's call them, and it's really affecting society. And you know, also you kind of educate yourself through media as well, and just cultural content. There's no cultural content on many of those channels as well, which is again reflecting very poorly on the whole society.
Hi, my question is, how did you reach the other media who are willing to report correctly and objectively? Or did they reach you? How was that way made? And for example, in the Czech Republic, some media reported about the protest, and very correctly, and it was seen that they understand the substance of the protest very well. And how it is possible? How did you finally raise to the public and to those who are supporting you?
Well, they mostly reach out to us. That's the main problem. They're all independent televisions, they're all privately owned. They don't have national or citywide frequencies. So if you are not paying for the supporters, you can't watch those TVs. We mostly have our channels, as they said, blockades from Novi Sad, Studio Blockade, and our Instagram page from our faculty from Belgrade. But I think we've reached the maximum amount of media coverage we could. Just by using social networks and those two televisions that actually support us.
The culture of that city, and with Novi Sad, one of the things that we have to say that in Novi Sad the majority of the population is Muslim, and the blockade of the radio television of Serbia was happening during both Catholic and Orthodox, or of the Orthodox Easter. It fell on the same day this year, and they came as a way to relieve of duty to blockade the RTS, so these students could spend time with their families and celebrate their holiday in accordance to tradition, to spend time with family and loved ones. So they were a sort of both cultural exchange and also trying to form a community within the blockades itself. So it's an activity again, but again, it's an opportunity for people from all across Serbia to join together to do something that they feel is right, and that I guess most people would feel is right.
Any other questions? Yeah, please. You have a microphone. Great.
I do. Thank you. Hi guys. Thank you very much for everything. I know this is a hard question to put in a nutshell, but I would like you just to mention the phenomenon of Chatziland and who Chatzi are, actually. And generally, what was the response of the confronted side? Thank you.
Well, you know, it's okay if somebody doesn't support this movement, but Chatzi don't necessarily fall into that category, in a sense that it's not that they have an objective reason, that they have arguments for like why they are against this, but it's because they are getting paid by the government, you know, to do what they're doing. So the name originates from this, I don't even know how to call it, like
let's say illiterate graffiti.
Yeah, that was written on a high school in Novi Sad, and then people started, you know, having a lot of fun with that because đaci, which means students in a sense of like primary school and high school, it was misspelled, so it came out as Chatzi, and then people started laughing about it, and then it became a whole thing where we call, you know, people who are illiterate and not competent for the positions they are in, we call them that way. But then what happened was Chatsiland, which is like
Pioneer Park, yeah. In the movie that our colleagues made, you could see, parts of it. So I can't really pinpoint which ones because there was a lot of
If you saw police protecting big large barriers, they're protecting the chassis.
Yeah, so they were they kind of orchestrated like this little camp in front of the
National
Assembly. Thank you. And they were like camping there because they call themselves students who want to study.
Because apparently we don't want to study because we're blocking our faculties because we want a responsibility for the 16 people who got killed. And just while we're on that topic, I'd like to mention that people who are in blockades and who do a lot for those are usually the best students that I know. But no, these people want to study. Some of them are not even, they don't even live in Serbia. Most of them lie about their age. Most of them lie about what faculties they go to. And then it was, funny when we found out that some people lied and that they had actually attended private universities and private faculties that do work, so they can study. So yeah, that's what's happening right now. Do you want to add something?
They call themselves Students 2.0. They gather there all by themselves, definitely not paid by anyone. There were large amounts of them, between 30 and 100 at the beginning, all varying ages between 18 and 72. And as you said, we've had accounts of them and we managed to identify like most of them. They're sons of criminals. They're the main leader of them is. Their sons and daughters of criminals. They will study private faculties or don't even study faculties at all. They've been standing there in the Pioneer Park for the past 2 months or something. They used them as a scare tactic during the 15th of March, which was the largest protest ever in Serbia. They put police on them. They used tear gas. They hit firecrackers and big bricks and whatever, hammers and batons and everything else. So they're mostly there because of the scare tactic. They still stand there. We can't pass through the center of the city at all, just because they're there now the buses that pass through the literal city center can't go through there because they're expanding. And the funniest part is the police is supposed to get them out as soon as possible because they're on the streets right now. But actually, in the bylaws it's written, and they're reported to the police as construction of the street, and they were reported there for the 2nd of March, then the 15th, then the 15th of April, now it's 18th of May, so they'll probably stay there for a couple of years, so you might learn something.
If I, from the Czech Republic, want to continue to follow what's going on in Serbia, but I need to do it in English language, what are the sites, where should I go, or what should I Google to have the updated, credible information about what you are doing and what's going on?
Well, N1 Serbia does have their website online in English. Not absolutely everything is translated, but most of it. And then on YouTube, whatever you find, there is always captions in English, and you can always follow us on social media and I guess translate it as much as possible, because we do have posts in English, but not all of them are.
Once more, thank you very much for coming. Thank you for spreading the hope and the voice. And please, once more, let's give them the warm applause.
So many questions and being so interested in what's happening and what we do. Thank you.
Okay. We have a small word from our almost native Czech speakers. If you would like to say a few words in Czech.
Sorry if I say something wrong, so correct me. First of all, ahoj, sem Nikola. Sem radi, že sem tady a děkujeme za pozvání. Chtěl bych vám poděkovat za vaši podporu, práci a úsilí.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to thank you for your presence and for helping our voice be heard. Above all, we would like to thank all kind-hearted people who supported this action through donations. Your solidarity has shown us that the compassion, community, and solidarity can help lighten the way forward. Without you, none of this would have been possible. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. I would also like to add to all the journalists that all the material from this event will be possible to collect. Just contact us through our email. Thank you very much.
And just one more thing, great big applause for our guest speaker students, but also to our moderator Igor Blažević, who really helped us out a lot, and we are really grateful to have this ally on our side. So thank you all, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Goodbye!